Hello again. Joanne O'Leary here from Dollface Pottery. I'm here to unload a Kiln firing cone 6. Actually, it reached, let's see, it's a small kiln load because I had a really big, huge flower pot in there. So look at that. That's cone 5, flat as a board. Cone 6, full cone 6. And then the cone 7 almost bent over. So it's a cone 6.5 for sure. So we'll see what happens there. So the first thing I want to show you is these little ceramic spoons. Little ceramic spoons that I make for my little clay mask dishes. So what I do is I use bentonite clay, which is for the skin, to make a clay mask, and it's so nourishing. And I have these little round dishes that I make these spoons for. And the reason that I make clay spoons is because bentonite clay cannot be mixed up with metal. So you either have to use plastic, wood, or ceramic. So that's why I make these little cute little spoons. And there's 3 coats of textured turquoise on white clay. It's Tucker's Midstone Smooth. I like those, and they're just bare on the back. So for those spoons, I have a whole bunch of spoons made, and I just tried to fill up the kiln space with some spoons. This is something different for me, but I wanted to experiment with some carving. So what this is it's smoked Celadon on the bottom by Amico. On the bottom as well. I just have to get some kiln wash off the bottom there. First it's obsidian. Amico obsidian into the carved pieces with white back, and then smoked Celadon over it. So the handle is carved as well. And then, of course, probably you're familiar with this combo. It is iron luster ×2 with thick oatmeal over. Inside is Norse Blue by Mako. I like that one. It's nice. It's a nice size mug. Very comfortable to hold. I'll be having some online sales, over the winter, but I have to be truthful. Online sales are not doing well with pottery since COVID, since after COVID. So a lot of people were home browsing the internet and buying. Like I used to sell out, but lately I haven't been. So it's probably just, the cost of living has risen quite a lot. This is Norse Blue with some underglaze transfers by Ceramica in Canada. These are Trout. So what I did was just put clear. I put a little bit of green glaze here. You can see it on the Trout with some mixing clear by Amico, and then Norse Blue ×2 around the mug. The Trout actually fold down over into the cup, since mixing clear down through the cup inside. I like that. I must say it's a different mug for sure, but I do like it. This one I experimented with. I didn't like the underglaze transfers that were underneath, so I just wiped them off at the bisque stage, and I wiped them off and then covered them up basically with 2 times obsidian. So you see the obsidian by Amico on the bottom. And then I used sapphire float. And I used up here, there's a combination of sapphire float, blue snowflakes by Laguna. And let me see, and light flux, and light flux around the rim. Inside is Wasabi Celadon by Amico. I like that one. It's very dynamic for sure. And the last one was a refire because the glaze really didn't come out. It came out too light and it was too streaky. So I refired it, put a bit of light flux on top, and refired it with a little bit of Sky Celadon by Amico. So this is the Mommy and Me whales mugs. So it's a mama whale and a little baby humpback whale tucked down on the bottom. Also very comfortable to hold. Inside Looks to me, this is a reglaze from a few months ago, so I glazed it a few months ago, but it looks to me like I have fog Celadon on the inside, and may have brushed it over with some sky as well, because it doesn't look true to the fog nature there. So I like that. I like the light flux, how it just goes down over the whales. This is why the kiln load is so small. Look at how big this is. This was my first ever coiled pot. Has a couple of dragonflies on each side. Don't ask me the glaze combinations, because to be truthful, I just did a wacky glaze job on the inside. Look at that. Just every little bit of glaze that I had left over, I mixed it up with a bit of water, and then just, you know, splattered it on the inside, almost like an abstract glazing. Oh, just love it. I know that the top coiled rim is, oh, let me check. It's from Mako. And oh, Tiger's Eye from Mako. And then I can probably tell you that this is sapphire float with blue rutile. I know that's just a bare clay with iron, with the iron wash. And then there's ancient jasper on there, because I can tell there's blue rutile, there's seaweed. So it's just like a haphazard glaze job, but it is a really big planter, bigger than my, you know, it's got a big crack on the bottom of it, but that's okay. It's a planter. So, because it's the first coil pot I've ever done, so about 2 years ago. And it's fairly big, but it's certainly shrunk. Some underglaze transfers with mixing clear on top. And these were just these fish from Ceramica on the back. It's also fish all around the plate. So that's, I'll put that in my little side plates. I have my lunch and my breakfast on these little small plates, so I don't eat too much. It's a little trick. I do like coloring in those Ceramica underglaze transfers as well. It makes a difference. So that's nice. This was wasabi, Celadon on the bottom. Just one coat actually I did with that. And I did a mixture of wasabi and rainforest and mixing clear. Actually, that's what that is. Wasabi mostly, 75% wasabi, some mixing clear, and a little bit of rainforest just to darken it up a bit, just change the hue. And so that you can see in the center there that this here, that's honey flux that went over the starfish, and it pooled so much, but it just left a little bit of green in the center. I love those little soap dishes because there's no holes, so you don't get a messy shelf, and you just rest the soap dish, or rest the soap on the starfish. This is the same wasabi rainforest mixing clear. You know, you have to experiment with those Celadon mixings. And this is, let's see what this is. So I know it's mixing clear on the codfish with obsidian. Actually, it's black underglaze, white back, then mixing clear on the center of the dish. And I assume that I did the combination of the wasabi, rainforest, and mixing clear all over, and then I did a little touch of ancient jasper on top. This is the combination, again, the mixture of the Celadons. I encourage you to, if you have a number of different Celadons, to experiment with the mixing, because, you know, wasabi is very stark. It's very, what is it? Very chartreuse, I guess, or chartreuse, I think it's called. And, you know, it's a bit stark green. So what this is it's a hanging saltfish. Newfoundland is known for our saltfish, especially years ago. I'm sure some people still do that, but years ago you would, you know, go out around the you know, rural communities, and you'll see, you know, fish drying, saltfish drying, salted fish drying on the flakes, or sometimes they'd be hung on a rope, which that's what you see here. And so in the center of the saltfish and the holes for the soap dish is just mixing clear with black underglaze, white back first, then mixing clear on top, mixing clear, and then 2 coats of honey flux over. I like it. This is, I do some work in Mishima, which is carving. You make your piece, then you wait for it to get soft leather hard. Then you put a thin layer of wax over the piece that you want to carve. Now, the inside is not carved, but I'll tell you the glaze combinations. Glaze combinations are storm, Celadon around the center, although it's green, but then a seaweed over the storm. Then there's blue snowflakes by Laguna in the center. And you can actually see all of the crystallization here. So the firing was cone 6, which ended up to be a hot cone 6 with a 20-minute hold, just so that you'll know. This is Tucker's clay, midstone smooth. And so the carving I was talking about with the Mishima, this is how it turns out. So when you carve a design, and this is just a random design, no particular, you know, method to it, just random as I'm going, then I just usually put a saying in the middle. So it just says, this life is short, be you, around the center. So my husband always says, you know, you can't really see that when it's on the table. You can, but it's almost like it's a little treat for whoever washes this dish. And a little message to the dishwasher, I guess. So this piece I'm going to submit to, if it's acceptable, once I do a final inspection, to submit for a piece to be juried by the Craft Council here in Newfoundland, amongst other pieces. But I just absolutely adore this piece. It takes a long time to color in all those lines with underglaze, and then over the underglaze is just mixing clear. I love it, love it. On the bottom is smoked Celadon ×3 because I want it to be a little bit darker. And then this was a Mishima waxed piece. So what I did was started off in the middle and then did little carved out every single circle and line, and then colored it in. It took me about 3.5 hours to color all that in. So this is a fairly big size plate, about 10¼ inches across. And so that's the Mishima technique. So this is the finished product for one of the videos where I had demonstrated the Mishima technique, but I didn't post the video to my YouTube channel because it didn't have the finished product. So that I think I created the video about 2 years ago. And I'm just getting to this piece now because, you know, you need a whole afternoon to actually glaze all that intricate detail. So that's it. That's the kiln unload. Because of that big pot, I didn't have much space for much else. So anyway, if you like these types of videos, I do more than kiln openings, although lately I have been doing kiln openings. But if you want to see like more of these videos in the future, you want to learn how to hand build, because all of my pieces are 100% hand built, you can subscribe and like the video if you like, and comment as to see what you'd like for me to demonstrate in the future. Keep in mind that this Mishima technique will be loaded up within the next week, so you can look at that. It's a fairly lengthy video, but you can always scrub ahead, okay? So anyway, for now, you know, that's it for kiln openings for a while because I have to start making again. So once I start making, and then I'll bisque and then so forth, I will, you know, have another kiln opening probably in 2 months' time. But in the meantime, I'll have some demo making videos. So until next time, see you later. Bye.